Right.
That's not to say it isn't, somewhere else or burned or buried somewhere, but there's no evidence of it. This is just an intersection where the homes on two sides are completely gone, and there's a small park across the street, and even the jungle gym or the climbing structure has been knocked on its side.
Peter, what else have you seen in terms of home damage? Have you had a chance to really walk around and see a number of homes that have been damaged and destroyed?
Everywhere. I'm looking down Claremont right now, and there is not a home standing.
Yeah.
If I were to do a quick count, 1, 2, 3. On one side of the street, I can see 8 chimneys. On the other side, that's the only thing that's standing. The only thing that's standing are the chimneys. On the other side of the street, I can count 3, 4. And then on the street above, where there's an Alameda strike team, there are at least 2 more homes over there. The only thing that you hear now is the hissing of the gas that's coming out of the gas meters. And that's where you have this hiss, and you have flames that are about, I guess right now I'm looking at them 10 to 15 feet. And that's pretty much it. The rest of the homes are completely gone. There's nothing left. I mean, I'm standing on somebody's lawn, 12 feet from the house. I can walk even closer to it. It's hotter than heck. But this home, there's nothing here. I can make out what looks to be the water heater. There are no wall boards or framing left. It's melted. This house has absolutely, completely melted. I can't even make out, sometimes, when we go to forest fires, you see crockery or plates or other things that you can sort of identify. Here, it looks like there's a chair that looks like the chair frame, looks like some springs I'm looking at. I mean, I'm right on top of this fire right now.
Just utter destruction.
I just talked to an assistant chief of the San Francisco Fire Department, and he's been a fireman for 33 years in the city. He did Loma Prieta. He said when he drove into Loma Prieta, it looked like Beirut. And as he drove into this fire, he had exactly the same feeling. And I asked him, is there anything that you can compare this to? And he said, well, conflagration.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, he went to the utmost word, conflagration. It's like a war zone. The trees that are here don't have a single branch. The power poles are, for the most part, broken and now fallen. The trees are astounding. I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 trees. They look to be probably 30, 40 feet high. There's not a branch. I mean not a leaf. I mean not a branch is left. They're just standing. They're like toothpicks.
Peter, what is happening in terms of emergency services around you? What are firefighters? What are they doing near you?
It's very interesting. There are a bunch that are still with hoses pouring water into some of the homes that are still standing. The rest of them, for the most part, many of them are just standing by to stand by. They have to wait now until the gas is turned off, or these gas meters are turned off, and then they can go back in and put out the remaining embers. But I'm looking at a lot of guys who are, quite frankly, just standing by, prepared, professional, ready to go, but there's just nothing for them to do this moment. They have, further down the street, you end up finding where the last house that burned down. There you'll end up finding a number of fire units where they have basically drawn a line, and they're protecting the houses that have not burned. But where I am in the fire, there's nothing left here. Every car on melted. It's a war zone. I mean, it sounds sort of a cliche to say that, but there is nothing left. There's nothing that's saved where we are right now.
Peter, do you see PG&E crews on the scene in the area where you are?
Yes, ma'am. I do. I haven't seen the trucks, but I've seen the guys with the PG&E logo. So, in fact, 2 of them are coming toward me right now.
But you're talking about the hiss of gas, so it's still not off in the area.
Well, I can tell you, Kelly, that every house that I'm at, maybe you can walk closer to it. Maybe you can hear it. Hold on. I'm going to walk across the street. I'm going to climb up on a curb. I'm now within about 5 feet. I'm going to hold the phone up. See if you can hear it.
Be careful, for goodness sake.
Could you hear that hiss?
You could a little bit, actually, vaguely. But now at the crater site, there is no more flame coming from the crater site.
As a matter of fact, the house adjacent to the crater site is still on fire. It looks like its meter, it looks like it's got a gas plume there, yes. The house itself is gone. But the house, I'm looking down the street toward Earl, and I'm looking at this, this big crater of water, and the house immediately to the right still has flames at the meter.
But there's no flame coming from the site of the crater, the original main leak, as far as you can tell, or main rupture.
No, it doesn't look like it. That just looks like a big, that looks like a swimming hole.
Okay.
And the pipe is up the street. That's just on the sidewalk. Literally, it looks as if it was a submarine which had breached the water. It's sort of jutting up at that angle, and it's just ragged edged and split down the middle.
Well, Peter Chaplin, ABC News producer, you're great to come on with us. Thank you so much for it.
My pleasure.
All right, thank you, sir. Be careful there.
Well, Jeff Smith from PG&E is back on the line for us this evening. And Jeff, what more can you tell us now?
Well, as I mentioned when I was on with you earlier, our thoughts do go out to everyone affected by this absolutely horrible situation. Though a cause has yet to be determined, we do know a PG&E gas transmission line was ruptured. If it is ultimately determined that we were responsible for the cause of the incident, we will absolutely take accountability for it. And we would just once again add that our thoughts do go to it's just an absolutely terrible situation, and our thoughts and prayers are with those that are directly impacted by what's taking place tonight in San Bruno.
Well, we certainly understand that and appreciate that sentiment, Jeff. No question about it. Can you tell us a little bit more about the transmission line, its size, and what you know to this moment? I know it's early, and you'll tell me it's early, but what you know of in terms of what might have happened.
Dan, and if I had specifics with them, specifics for you, I'd absolutely share them. But in a situation like this, we just want to be really careful that we don't speculate. And so until we have absolutely everything confirmed, would not be able to provide specifics with respect to that. But I can just tell you, obviously, that we're taking the situation very seriously and working with the local officials to maintain safety in the area, and we'll continue to do so. But as I mentioned at the outset, we just want to make sure that anybody that was directly impacted is taken care of. And again, if it's determined that we were responsible for the cause, we will absolutely take accountability.
Jeff, we were speaking with our ABC producer on the site just a few moments ago, and he described still hearing the hiss of gas in that area. Do you know where things stand with respect to being able to turn the gas off in the neighborhood?
What I can tell you on that is that we are working with the local emergency responders on scene to do whatever needs to be done in order to maintain the safety of the situation, and to also make sure that the crews and fire and first responders are safe as well.
Sure.
And so we're working with them to make sure that anything that we absolutely do everything to make the situation safe, but also want to make sure that we take the proper steps for safety as well.
Understood, Jeff. Let me ask you this. Can you, just from a procedure standpoint, can you turn off the gas to all the homes in one switch, or do you have to do it individually at each home, just out of curiosity?
It would certainly be dependent on the specifics of the situation, and that without being able to have all the details with respect to obviously it's a very fluid situation at this point in time. Wouldn't be able to speculate on exactly what's transpiring with respect to that right now.
I mean, is it possible to turn it off all at once, just technically, or do you know?
Again, it would depend upon the situation what could be safely done. So that's
okay.
what we would. That's so that's. Again, because the situation is fluid, wouldn't be able to provide any specifics.
Well, we know we're pressing you a little bit, but Jeff, thanks very much. Jeff Smith,
Thank
PG&E.
you very much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
So obviously a situation still, very much trying to be dealt with this evening. PG&E crews are on the scene. Right now, ABC 7's Heather Ishimaru is at this neighborhood right now, what's considered ground zero. Heather, you're at Claremont and Glenview.